Welcome. We've got some thrilling Arsenal news lined up for you, so stay tuned until the end to catch all the latest updates. And don't forget to leave 300 likes to keep us motivated in bringing you the latest Arsenal updates. Eddie Howe's measured response contrasts with Arteta's frustration after Newcastle's penalty denial. Arsenal delivered a stinging 2-1 comeback victory over Newcastle United on Sunday, overturning a one-goal deficit in a thrilling encounter. For neutrals, it was a cracking match, with both sides leaving everything on the pitch. However, controversy reigned when Arsenal's early penalty was overturned after Nick Pope was deemed to have won the ball before fouling Victor Gyökeres, a tight but correct call. Later, Newcastle were denied a penalty when Anthony Elanga's cross struck Gabriel's arm, a decision complicated by the ball grazing his shin first, negating a handball per the rules. Though the shin contact barely altered the ball's path, the VAR ruling stood, leaving Newcastle fans frustrated but resigned to move on. The contrast between the managers was stark. While Mikel Arteta was quick to vent his frustrations over Arsenal's disallowed penalty to Sky Sports, Eddie Howe remained composed, accepting the non-handball decision with grace. "I haven't reviewed it yet, so I won't comment fully," Howe said, noting his initial belief it was a handball but accepting the VAR's call. Urging introspection for growth, Howe's focus had already shifted to Newcastle's next match against Union St Gilloise, embodying a forward-thinking mindset. Arteta, even in victory, couldn't resist dwelling on perceived injustices, highlighting a clear divide in temperament between the two managers. Nick Woltemade speaks out on fumes over Gabriel clash in Newcastle's defeat to Arsenal. Newcastle United striker Nick Woltemade has reignited his feud with Arsenal's Gabriel, revealing a heated on-pitch exchange following what he described as a fierce elbow to the face during their 2-1 loss at St James Park. The German forward expressed his frustration at the rough challenge, underscoring his commitment to fair play in the Premier League's intense battles. A fiery encounter on Tyneside. The clash between Woltemade and Gabriel became a focal point of the match, which saw Newcastle take an early lead through Woltemade's header over the Brazilian defender. However, Arsenal staged a dramatic comeback, with Gabriel netting a decisive goal in the 96th minute. Amid the action, an earlier incident saw Gabriel's elbow connect with Woltemade's face, an act that went unpunished by the officials. The unpunished elbow that sparked outrage. The altercation occurred shortly after Woltemade's goal, as the two players tangled in a physical duel. Woltemade felt the full force of Gabriel's elbow, which he believes was dangerously high. Despite the lack of a foul being called, the incident led to a tense confrontation, requiring referee Jard Gillett to step in and defuse the situation. Woltemade lays bare his frustration. Speaking to Sky Sports post-match, Woltemade didn't hold back in detailing the incident. "After my goal, I felt his elbow smash into my face from about 2 meters away, so his arm must have been well up. I told the ref I felt something hit my face, and I don't think it's right to feel that in a match." His candid remarks highlighted his dismay at the physicality crossing into recklessness. Gabriel's apology falls flat. Woltemade revealed that Gabriel offered an apology after the incident, but the Newcastle man was unimpressed. "He said sorry afterwards, so I reckon he knew he caught me in the face," Woltemade said. "But I'm not having it. If you do something like that in the heat of the game and then apologize seconds later, it doesn't sit right. I'm all for a proper scrap on the pitch, but it's got to be fair. That elbow had no business being near my face." A stand for fair play. The German striker was quick to distance himself from gamesmanship, insisting he's not one to go down easily. "I'm not the sort of player to collapse at the slightest touch," he said. "It's tough because sometimes you feel you've got to play up to get a call, but that's not my kind of football. I stand my ground, play my game, and I don't make a meal of challenges." No time for theatrics. Woltemade's commitment to honest play was clear as he reflected on the incident. "Sometimes these things happen in football, but it should always be safe and fair," he added. "I can't control what others do, but I can control how I react. I want to play proper football, not put on a drama for the ref." Newcastle struggles and Woltemade's rise. Despite the defeat, Woltemade's performance was a bright spot for Newcastle, who are battling to close the gap on the Premier League's top sides. The young striker's physical presence and goal-scoring instinct have made him a key figure for the Magpies as they navigate a challenging campaign. Looking ahead to Europe. Newcastle now turn their attention to the UEFA Champions League, where they face Union St Gilloise on Wednesday. Woltemade is expected to retain his place in the starting lineup as the Magpies aim to bounce back and make a mark on the European stage. Arsenal rocked by serious knee injury and red card woes. Arsenal have been plagued by a string of injury setbacks at the start of the season, and their misfortune has continued with another long-term blow that could derail their future plans. The Gunners have been hit with grim news on the injury front, compounded by the sting of a red card. The weekend proved to be a remarkable one for Arsenal, as their main rivals all stumbled with defeats, and the team banished their demons at St James Park with a hard-fought 2-1 victory over Newcastle United. Under Mikel Arteta's guidance, Arsenal made a bold statement about their title-contending credentials. Despite the triumph, Arsenal remain just 2 points behind league leaders Liverpool. However, Arteta is all too aware that the campaign is a marathon, not a sprint, and luck has not been on his side with injuries piling up. The red card incident only added to Arsenal's mounting concerns. With just 6 matches played this season, Arteta has already had to contend with injuries to several key players while juggling 4 competitions. The Gunners were forced to make 3 first-half substitutions in their opening 4 matches, a worrying trend. Bukayo Saka limped off during the clash against Leeds United, while William Saliba has only recently returned from an ankle injury. Martin Odegaard has been forced off the pitch twice already, and that's not to mention the fitness issues affecting Ben White, Piero Hincapié, Noni Madueke, and Kai Havertz early in the campaign. The situation has taken a turn for the worse, albeit indirectly, with Fabio Vieira, currently on loan at Hamburg in the Bundesliga, suffering what appears to be a serious knee injury over the weekend. This setback could have significant implications for both the player and Arsenal. Arsenal had been considering activating a £17 million buy clause for the Portuguese midfielder during his loan spell. Vieira moved to Hamburg after talks with Stuttgart fell through, but his time in Germany now hangs in the balance. He was sent off in stoppage time during a 0-0 draw against Union Berlin, visibly struggling with a knee issue. Both Arsenal and Hamburg are praying that he has not damaged his anterior cruciate ligament. The loan move was seen as Arsenal's best chance to recoup a portion of the £30 million they invested in Vieira, with his contract set to expire in 2027, after which he could leave on a free transfer. The Portuguese star had shown flashes of brilliance in North London, but injuries and inconsistency prevented him from seriously challenging Martin Odegaard for a starting spot. If the knee injury is as severe as feared, Vieira's season in Germany could be over prematurely. Valued at €22 million by Transfermarkt, Vieira's future remains uncertain. Meanwhile, Arsenal shift their focus to the Champions League, with Olympiacos set to visit the Emirates Stadium this week. Arteta will be hoping his squad can weather this storm as they continue their pursuit of silverware on multiple fronts. Thanks for watching Arsenal Time. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment below. Continue following the Gunners' journey with us, and see you in the next video. Come on, you Gunners!